Zach Britton, Corey Kluber, and Rick Porcello all have phenomenal seasons. Could a reliever win this award? And the American League's outstanding pitcher is Rick Porcello. And here he is in studio with the guys.
Kelly, thank you. Rick Porcello joins us here inside Studio 21. Rick, first and foremost, congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
American League's most outstanding pitcher, voted on by your peers, players. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, honestly, to me, that's the ultimate. I mean, these are the guys you're competing against on a night-to-night basis, and to have the respect from them, to have them vote for me and win this award is pretty much means everything to me. You know, those are the guys that they see everything. A lot of things that, you know, as a writer or as an average fan, you can't see in-game stuff and kind of how you carry yourself. And I think that definitely has something that goes into it when you're voting for certain guys. So. That and the fact that they feel like I perform the best is, you know, very thankful for it.
When you talk about in-game and all the stuff you do on the field, which is tremendous, every year as players, we always want to tweak something, right? Get better in some area. Talk about 16 and some things going into the season. Yeah,
I felt like my struggles in 15 were directly related to an inconsistent delivery, and that was what was causing me to, you know, miss locations and get barreled up on pitches that were in the middle of the plate. So first and foremost for me in the offseason was ironing out my delivery again and getting back to some of the little things, the basic, you know, checkpoints that I have to be able to cue myself in game if I start to kind of get off track, be able to get back to that and back to executing pitches. So really spring training was the biggest part for me because it was just focused on my delivery. I didn't care where the ball was going. I had, you know, some things that I wanted to execute every time I got off the mound, and I just tried to focus on that. And I really had a terrible spring, but kind of staying on track with focusing on mechanical stuff, my delivery, and not worrying about the results, I think allowed me to get into a position once the season started to build off of that. And you know, I think that's what allowed me to be consistent throughout the whole course of the year.
For me, it's when you talk about speaking of figuring it out, I got a little breakdown. We do breakdowns here, Rick. I don't know. We do them all the time. But you know what? This is one for me that I always hated. And this, you want to take a look at this. This is you, of course, right on the mound, doing your thing. Your out pitch, you figured out a pitch that became consistent for you, in my opinion, because that little two-seamer starts at the hip for most lefties and boom, comes back over the inner half. We go back thinking, you know, it's not what we hit that. But I'm going to take you through one at bat against Logan Morrison. Start him out with a fastball. He's looking in already. Now you have him at your disposal, right? I mean, you looking at this, I'm going, wait, that's the pitch. Well, he's like, now where is he going to go? You come back in with the two-seam.
Yeah.
Was that the pitch that you figured out throughout the year? You say you didn't have a good spring, but when it became consistent, was it the release point? Was it like in the back of your mind, like, look, these guys know it's coming. As a lefty in the box, I know it's coming, but I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I think that pitch was definitely the difference maker for me with left-handed hitters and even throwing it glove side to right-handed hitters. But that's exactly what I'm talking about as far as finding the consistency in my mechanics. That's what allows me to execute that pitch and have the movement, the late movement, the deception, the things that make it, you know, effective and you know it's coming, but you can't pull the trigger. I mean, that's a huge weapon when a guy just he can't swing at it because it's that deceptive and it's got that much late movement. And the consistency of the delivery, I was able to, you know, utilize that to my advantage as far as executing the right pitch and the right movement on a consistent basis. So, yeah.
Is it more of when you talk about the catcher right behind the dish, and do you want him up under the elbows? For lefties, right, is up under here.
Yeah, I don't want to throw it down and in.
Right, not down and in.
I want to throw it at the top. You know what we're going to do with that down and in. Yeah, that ball gets hit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw it at the top of the zone. I'm trying to, you know, and at the very least, if I miss across the plate and I have enough velocity on it, guy's going to be a little behind it. He's not going to be able to drive it, maybe get a single out of it or foul it off. But, yeah, I'm definitely trying to throw that at the top.
22-4. Did you look back on this going, I think I could have been even better? Or is that like, that's a career year?
Yeah, I don't think there's too many guys that have won 22 games in the history of the game. So it's hard to sit here and say that I could be better. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have a phenomenal team playing behind me and putting up the runs that they were putting up. And then I got on a roll and built momentum, and it was just kind of that perfect storm that everything really was working out for me this year. So I'm pretty grateful for the season that I had, and I don't want to put the pressure on myself to try and do better than that. I would love to just be able to replicate that again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, thanks to this award, the Players Trust is donating $20,000 to your charity of choice. What are you doing with that 20 grand?
That's it. First of all, it's incredible, and obviously thanks goes out to the Players Trust for that. I'm donating it to Team Joseph. It's a charity for muscular dystrophy, Duchenne. You know, I got linked up with them while I was playing out in Detroit, and we've been, you know, raising money towards the cutting edge research that's going to, you know, finding cures for this disease. There is no cure. It's a fatal disease, and you know, basically breaks down the muscle tissue in young boys and builds up scar tissue to the point where they can't move and can't walk and get put into wheelchairs, and ultimately, you know, worse things happen as far as, you know, cardiac arrest, and they end up dying from it. So there's no cure, but there are some really promising things that have been coming out, and in spring they're, you know, starting a gene therapy trial for some of the boys, and that should be able to benefit a certain percentage of them. But yeah, it's a terrible disease with, you know, it's not one thing that's going to be able to be a cure-all for it. There's percentages of boys that have different mutations of the disease, and it's going to take a lot to find cures for all of them. But, you know, the more money we can put into the funding and towards this cause, and the more awareness we can raise, it's you know, hopefully expedite the process of finding a cure for this thing and saving these kids.
It will be money well spent.
Absolutely.
Your American League most outstanding pitcher, Rick Porcello. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.